Hey guys, so I know you've seen the TikTok videos, the luxury every single day, the candles, the spa days, all in the name of a soft life. But the truth is, for me, my version of the soft life looks a little different. And today I want to show you or tell you exactly what that means for me as a multi-business CEO and a mom of four. Yes, four. So I know that, when people think about a soft life, they're thinking about, like I said, you thinking about luxury, you're thinking about never really working. I'm doing all of the things that I just want to do, not necessarily things that I have to do. But the truth of the matter is that we all have, other portions of our lives. And for me, that means running multiple businesses. That means homeschooling two of my children. And I still have two other children that, we work together and supporting. And so my soft life may be a little different than what you expect. And I think for me, I think it's a more realistic view of what soft life is. Because for me, it's not just about luxury, right? We want the luxury. We want to be able to do all of these things. I personally love to travel and I've traveled to so many different places. So it's about the luxury, but mostly it's about the peace that I get. It's about the control I have over my life, like the freedom. It's about the systems I have in place that allow me to run multiple businesses without like running myself into the ground. And then it's really about the joy of it all. I think that, they say the pursuit of happiness, and I would say that I have found my happy because for me, it's not really a pursuit. I think it's a choice, right? I think happiness is a choice. And so it's all, those are all of the things that I think about when I think about a soft life. And so when I think about it as a mom and an entrepreneur, I think about how I can create a sense of legacy for my children. And so, just for reference, I said four children. Two of them are young adults. So I have a 19-year-old and a 24-year-old, Shania and Samia. And then I have a 15-year-old Sarai and an 8-year-old son. So three girls, one son. His name is Shia. Samia and Shania are already college graduates. And but we're still all one, like very tight, cohesive family, even though they're adults. And so for me, it's about leaving a legacy to them of not just money, right? Not just that idea of wealth. For me, it's about leaving, showing them that you can do the things that you want to do. You can do the things that you have to do, but you can do them in a way that aligns with your own goals, your own version of joy and happiness. And for me, that is like being able to spend time with my kids as much as I want to. Travel when I want to, do the things. I'm not big on, a lot of, designers or anything like that. I love a good spa day. But on a day-to-day basis, if we think about it in real terms, for me, soft life is waking up without chaos. It's waking up knowing that I have, these systems and things in place that allow me to homeschool my children. I mean, simple things like my kids being able to have, computers, right? Internet. And we don't really think about things like that because a lot of things I think we take for granted, but not really thinking about how some children don't have computers. Some families struggle with, keeping their internet on or not having access to, good service because they may be in rural areas, right? And that's the same with my business, I'm able to run my businesses most of the time from home because I do have access to these things, right? They may be simple, but they may appear simple. Let me say that they may appear simple, but I know, that not everybody has that. I have founded two nonprofits, and one of which I work with young, adults and children from underserved communities where, we do things like serve free summer meals. And so some of these children aren't even getting, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so I'm not going to expect them to have $1,000 computer. And so for me, that's something that I feel very, blessed to have, and it's part of what I think is a soft life. And then, as a business owner, it's being able to, have a team of people. Even though I got a small team, I ain't gonna say I got a big team. I have a small team, but I have a small team of people who help me build this. I'm one of those people. I never thought that there was a such thing as a self-made anybody, millionaire, billionaire, whatever it is. Because even though people can have visions, and I have grand visions, and I am a builder of things, but I know in order to actually make these businesses scalable, that you will need a team, right? You don't go into your local store and it's just one person who works there. It's not just the owner, right? And normally it's never the owner. Big corporations, they have thousands of employees, and the reason they're $1 billion businesses is because they have been able to get a team of people to help them build and grow. And so when I think about, soft life, that's really how it starts for me. Um, so three, no, I'm about to say three. That is not true. It was about 2016, maybe. No, it was 2006. Okay, 2006. It's been so long. Time goes so fast, guys. So it was 2006, and I was on my way home from the airport with then it was my two older daughters, and my second oldest, she was just still a baby. My friend came to pick us up from the airport, and we were driving, and she ran into a car that was stalled on the expressway. And so when she hit the car, my baby flew over this, her car seat detached, flew over the seat. It was Shania's nose was busted and everything. And from then, it triggered this anxiety in me, that I would just have like anxiety and panic attacks and all of that kind of stuff. And didn't really know what it was. It had just come out of the blue. But that was, going through that for a few years and not knowing what it is, and then finally, getting to someone to diagnose it and say, hey, you're suffering from anxiety, you're suffering from panic attacks, is when I knew I needed a shift, right? I had already been an entrepreneur. And running a business. At that time, I was actually working a job as well, was actually my last job in 2010. But I knew I needed a shift because I was running these businesses, I was going to work, I was raising two children as a single mom. But I was also always stressed out, always under full panic, always having anxiety, and realized some of the stress that I was having just in my life in general was part of the trigger of the anxiety. And so I knew then and there that I was not going to embrace the grind culture, the hustle culture. Even though I didn't have a lot of money, I knew that I needed to have a lifestyle that fit me, and didn't require me to overwhelm myself with things. And at first, I think you feel guilty about it. Or, for me, I guess it was kind of like, oh, I left this, 9 to 5 job where I work 8.5 hours, and then you go into a business, and then as this business is growing, it feels like you're working less. And a lot of times you are. And it kind of feels guilty because it feels like, if I'm not working as much, am I actually contributing to my success? Is it fair that I get to have this softness in my life if I'm working less hours? But I had to realize that rest didn't mean I wasn't working hard enough. So if you are taking that moment, that day, that weekend to rest, it doesn't negate the fact that you work hard, right? It doesn't negate the fact that you are contributing to your life. You deserve it. And I had to realize that I deserved it and that success didn't require me to suffer. And this is especially for the entrepreneurs if you're watching. Being a successful entrepreneur does not require 24/7 work. Stop, stop, stop feeding into that nonsense that in order to be a successful entrepreneur that you have to work all day and night, because the truth of the matter is you're doing work in the middle of the night while everybody else is sleeping. Nobody is reading your emails. Nobody is reading your pitches. Nobody is caring what you're doing, typing away on your computer at 3 a.m. So just go to bed. Like for real. That's part of your soft life. Just go to bed. Um, but I want to give you just an idea of my morning routine and what I consider a part of my soft life. And so when I get up in the morning, first of all, I told myself years ago that I was not starting my day at 6 a.m. I don't care what entrepreneur does it. I'm not starting my day at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. I am not an early morning person. And so when I first started to envision what my soft life would look like, it was to start my day at 10. And so for me, I may wake up 8, 9-ish, do all of my prep, shower, all of that stuff. But as far as work, I don't start until 10 a.m. So before work, I'm getting ready, I'm doing my skincare. I do a morning meditation. So I love to meditate and I am a champion for mindfulness. And so I do, a minute breathing exercise and maybe a 5-minute meditation. I raise my blinds up. I have like large windows. And so I love to just, be able to look out at the city and the sunshine and the clouds. And so that's a part of how I get my day started. And then when I start my work day, I go through my scheduler, I talk to my team, and then we get started. I have my morning coffee. I love Starbucks. So I'm going to be honest, I have some morning coffee and sometimes I might drive to go get it, walk to go get it. Since I've relocated to Portugal last month, my coffee has been made at home or I will walk somewhere to get it. And that starts my morning. And for me, that is a part of a soft life. Why? Because no one tells me that in order to be successful, you have to start at 3 a.m. and do this hour workout and do this and do that. A soft life for me and a soft life for you should be whatever you decide. So I want you to really think about what that looks like, even if it's just your morning routine. What does soft mean to you? And then another example of what I consider a soft life for myself is that I travel. I told you I travel a lot. I love to travel. And that's one of the things that I also realize that is a luxury and not everyone has the ability to do so. And so me and my children, every time I travel, 99% of the times I travel is with my kids. Um, and so we have been to 5 continents. The only continents we have not been to were Antarctica and Australia. So we've been to, of course, North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, and several countries within those places. And, I realized that the world has so much more to offer than, what we may see, right? And so I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. I lived in Atlanta, Georgia for about 20 years before I moved here to Portugal. And I would say that, you know, we had experiences and we see, but we don't see what's outside of all of this greatness that is the world if you don't have the opportunity to travel. And so, if you do have the opportunity to travel, I would say go ahead and give it a shot. Start. We started locally, so this going to different countries wasn't the very start, and so we would start going across states, going across our own states. I even know people who don't even know what's in their own state. So going across our own state, going across other states in the US and then expanding from there. But a part of the beauty of it all is that I saw the world in such a different place. And I knew that at some point I would be leaving the US to have a different lifestyle. And so a part of that soft life is me being, first of all, being able to move abroad, because again, I know this is not something that everybody gets to do, but also being in a place that I feel very much so connected to. I had only been here once, but me and my children, we love it. It's a beautiful place. The people are great. The food is great. I mean, it's really just a great experience. And so, those things are what I consider a part of my soft life. I'm not out here, kicking up my feet, having, an Aperol spritz every day because I'm still out here working. I'm still a homeschool mom, but just being able to do things, right? I think is part of our soft life, and understanding that that luxury look is not going to be every single day. Like, for instance, I did not show up in full glam, and most days I don't, right? Like, you see people on social media and they are like full glam, even when traveling in their swimsuits, they're like decked out with jewelry. All no, I just feel like live your life. And that's what I try to do. I just try to live my life and be as transparent as possible. One of the reasons I created this series is to really just give a real idea of what it looks like to be successful, live a soft life, but also do things that people do. Like, I'm a mom. I have to get up in the morning and tell my kids to, get to work. I still clean, clean, and we still cook, and we still do all of the things, and we still have good days, bad days. But part of it is just having gratitude, I think. Knowing that, you choose to be happy, and for whatever you have, you're grateful and you're thankful. And I think that's one of the things that has always driven me to remain happy, because even in our hardest times, I find something to be thankful for and show gratitude for, because even if it's me being able to get up today, that is a major thing to be thankful for. So, when you're considering and you're visualizing your soft life, envision it in a way that makes sense for you, not what you see on social media, not what you see on TV, not all of the fake glitz and glamour, right? Because that is just not going to happen every day to all of us, to most of us, right? We're still living regular lives. But I would say, overall, I'm enjoying my soft life. I'm enjoying my soft era. I'm enjoying being able to set boundaries with people and time, and give myself moments when I need it. Sometimes I take off for days if I just like had enough, right? Like, when I first moved, moving abroad is a whole job in itself. And so just getting here and be like, let me take a pause. So, I just want you to think about what your life looks like, how you envision it, and how it may be different from other people's. And that's okay, because, soft life isn't about doing nothing, right? It's about doing what matters to you, with ease, with intention, with joy. If you're building a business, and your life feels aligned, your business and your personal life feels aligned, I think you're already on the right path, for your soft life. So, show some gratitude for that. So that's all. If this resonated with you, tell me below, comment, tell me what your soft life means to you. How do you envision it, whether you've gotten there or you didn't? And don't forget to subscribe because there is more to come. I'm so happy to share this series beyond the bio. Unfiltered with me, Yamina. So, check in, subscribe, and stay connected for more.